very, very, very beautiful composition from the leader and founder of Ethereum Mission, the Center for Spiritual Empowerment. All of life works for your highest good. So no matter how life may be to you, just focus on the fact that it is certainly working for your highest and noblest good. Hour of Awakening and Empowerment. It comes your way every Tuesday and Thursday from 8 p.m. That will be British Summer Time, 7 p.m. GMT till 9 p.m. BST and 8 p.m. GMT. Very simple. We're here to rediscover our true selves of creativity, intelligence, and love. That is all we come here to do. Without much ado, we're going to be crossing over to Ghana and welcome our noble speaker this very evening. I will say we are doing the part 2 of what he came to give us last week Thursday. Because of a few hiccups, we could not run through the program fully. Today, I'm very certain with the able technicians we have in the background, we will be able to run through Let Your Soul Shine beautifully. Good evening, Emmanuel.
Good evening, Papa Smiley.
Wow, you sound very, very deep and quite. You see, you sound very robust this very evening, and everything sounds very, very good. I love it this way. How are you?
I am doing awesomely well.
Beautiful.
How are you also doing in the UK?
I'm awesome in an awesome universe, right?
Yes.
How is the atmosphere now? Looking at the new announcement from the president with regards to the lockdown measures, you being able to get back to church and what have you? What is the atmosphere now?
Yes. Well, now we are gearing ourselves up to prepare for Sunday service and trying to put measures in place to ensure that our members are safe and feel comfortable in church.
Okay, all right. So, are you done with the measures, or they are putting in whatever they need to do before Sunday?
But we are still working on it. So by Sunday or by the end of this week, Friday, I'm sure things would be in place. So by Sunday, everything would be in perfect order for us to start our service.
All right. Do you miss church service?
Oh yes, I do. Of course, I do. I miss. As Ethereum Mission is a family. When you come here, there is a feeling of oneness and there's a bonding feeling that we all enjoy when we come here. Even the temple alone, without the people, there's a feeling in there. So I'm happy to come back and experience that feeling all over again.
Good one. I hope when you go, you wear your mask, right?
Oh yes, most definitely.
All right, I'll hand over to you as you take us through the message you have for us today. I know because we could not have enough time to run through the message last week, Thursday. You come in again with the same message. So without much ado, I'll hand over to you with a very smooth system now. Take us through what you have for us this evening. Over to you, Emmanuel.
All right, thank you, Papa Smiley, and I would like to welcome all our listeners this evening to tonight's program. And I promise you that you would be fully empowered and enlightened after this program. This program comes to you. It's a collaboration between Aquantufo UK and Ethereum Mission in Ghana here. Ethereum Mission is the Center for Spiritual Empowerment. And I welcome you to our mission. And our vision here is that of a unified world in which everyone is a catalyst that is activating and promoting the innate good in one another. And we ask you to join us to raise such a world. Imagine a world where the good in me is inviting the expression of the good in you. And the good in you also invites and helps me to express the good in me. This is the world that we in Ethereum Mission here are seeking to bring about. And we invite you to join us to create such a world. Ethereum Mission in Ghana is located at the General Ankara Highway, next to the Goel fuel station at Sakaman in Accra. And the phone numbers here are 0264 177 633 and 0548 177 633. They are also our WhatsApp line, so if you send us a message, we can add you to our platform so that you can also enjoy our daily messages. We can also be found in Takoradi, and our branch is located at the Dave Street in Anaji Estate, and the telephone number is 0561 166 330. And if you are in Kumasi, you can also join us to worship with us at the Derba Court Hotel behind Dr. Badu in Adembra, and the contact number is 0561 166 331. Also in the UK, you can find us at our branch at 58 Corinth Park Avenue in Mitcham, Surrey, and the postcode is CR42DG, and the phone number there is 0208 646 6129. God richly bless you. Now, our topic for today is let your soul shine. Now, what do I mean by let your soul shine? Now, during one of my meditation sessions, and I was practicing one of Ethereum Mission's master tools we call love activation. Now, love activation is a tool or a meditative tool that allows you to be open to the love that indwells you and experience the love that also indwells all of nature. It opens you to love. Let me just say that. And as I was going through this meditation, I came to a realization that the elements are expressing certain God virtues. And this got me really excited when I was acknowledging or seeing or discovering these virtues that these elements are expressing. And I realized that, yes, God created all of life, created all the elements and all of nature, and God created man too. So these virtues that the elements are expressing, they are in order because God created the elements. And obviously, a piece of God is in all things. And so if I'm seeing these elements, these virtues in the elements, then it's in order. And which also means that if God created man, then man should also be able to express these virtues. But then what do we see with man? Man is filled with so much fear, jealousy, and anger that we bottle up the virtues or the good nature of God in us and don't allow it to freely express. We let fear stop our shine. We let hatred and anger stop us from doing that which we ought to do to show off the virtues of God in us. We don't understand ourselves. We don't understand the world that we are in. We don't understand the people that we interact with. And so all this brings about frustration, it brings about fear, it brings about jealousy, and all manner of attitudes that are not very conducive or are not godly, if I may say, or are not expressed in ways that show off the God natures in us. And I was wondering why this is so with man. Why are we filled with so much fear? So a lot of people are filled with a lot of desires, unfulfilled desires, because they're allowing fear to stop them. Society also plays a role in dampening our feelings and not allowing us to express these desires and these talents in us. So you have a beautiful voice, you know how to sing. But simply because you sang on a particular day and you were laughed at or you were ridiculed, so you have held back this beautiful voice of yours and not allowing it to express to bless humanity. Meanwhile, we see the elements freely doing all of this. So why are we not also doing this? Why are we allowing fear, hatred, jealousy to stop us from shining the light of God in our souls? I am here today to entreat you to awaken to the light of God in your life or in your soul and allow it to shine so bright that it blesses mankind. Because we are of God, and the Spirit of God is also in us. And if the Spirit of God in us, then we need to allow these lights or the Spirit of God to also freely express, because God didn't put these virtues in us for us to hoard them in our soul. It was put in us to allow them to freely express. Most importantly, we lack knowledge of self. And because we lack knowledge of self, we are not focused. So we don't know our goals in life. We don't know our purpose. And so most often than not, we are distracted. So you are doing something. You started work with John. And you see John progressing more because John is doing something different from what you are doing. So because of that, you feel that what John is doing is good. So you also start doing what John is doing. But we are all different. You need to stay in your lane. Be focused on what you are doing. Why are you shifting from one job to another, just because you are seeking some kind of success? But for all you know, your success is in what you are already doing. But because you lack purpose, because you don't have a goal in mind, because you are not focused, you tend to look at what others are doing and start doing what others are doing. And this leads you to distraction. And sometimes it brings disappointment because you are not able to achieve what you want to achieve. It also brings frustration because then you are not seeing the needed progress that you need to see. I am here to tell you today that you are a child of God. The images of God are in you, and you need to awaken to this image of God in you and allow it to shine. And this is what I mean by letting your soul shine. So, God is like the sun. And like the sun, it gives us its rays. And we have come from God. So we are the rays that are freely expressing from this sun. And each individual ray has a particular virtue, because just like the sun, there are different colors that spring off from the sun. So just like God being the sun and we being the rays that are coming from God the sun, we also bear different virtues or different colors that we need to identify and allow this to express. So what does the Bible tell us about letting your soul shine? In Matthew 5:14 to 16, we read, "Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid." Verse 15, "Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it gives light unto all that are in the house." Verse 16, "Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven." Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Nobody lights a candle and hides it under the table. You put it on a candlestick and put it where it can give off light to light up the whole room. It doesn't make any sense to light a candle in a dark room and hide it. What sense does that make? Then how are you going to experience and enjoy the light that the candle is giving when it is hidden? You put it where it can shine so bright in the room. And that is what the Bible is telling us, that we need to let our light shine. So what is this light? This light are the virtues of God in us. Once you are allowing these virtues to so shine, men will see your good works. And when they see your good works, they will glorify the Father in heaven, because they will appreciate the God virtues that are freely expressing through you. And so the Bible is telling us that we should let our virtues of God shine, First of all, you need to identify these virtues and allow these virtues to shine to bless men, so that men from this would also glorify God in allowing it's God's virtues to express through you to also bless them. Let your soul shine means that you need to know who and what you are. And in knowing who and what you are, you need to also know the images and virtues of God that you are and allow this to shine. So that is what it means to let your soul shine. You first have to have knowledge of self, identify who and what you are, and identify the virtues of God that you are, and allow these virtues to freely express. So that is what it means by letting your soul shine. So let's take examples from nature and see how nature is expressing this. So the elements, let's start with the elements. Now the element of the air knows who and what it is, or knows what it is as the element of the air. What it is to give life unto life. That's what the element of air does. It gives life. And so that is what it is doing. It gives life to man. It gives life to the plants. It gives life to animals. So the element of the air has knowledge of self. It knows what it is. And it is freely expressing this knowledge. And it doesn't matter who you are. Whether you are a killer, whether you are a murderer, a rapist, or a righteous man. The spirit of the air's job is to give life, and so it gives it freely to all without discrimination. Sometimes, even when you are in an enclosed room and there is no air, you feel hot. Somehow, some way, the spirit of the air knows how to find a way to breathe you with life, and you continue to live. What about the spirit of the fires? The sun or the fire also knows itself to be the transforming grace or energy of God, and it is doing so. It transforms into solar energy. It transforms into light. It transforms into, when you can use it to transform your food from raw into cooked food. Even if you look at our stomach, the inside of our stomach is hot. And this heat in our tummies is what transforms the food, the solid food that we eat, into energy and gives us life. And it also doesn't matter who you are. Whether you are thinking of going to kill or rob somebody, once you eat, the spirit of fire or the element of fire goes to work in you and transform the food that you've eaten into energy. Because its job is not to judge you on what you are going to do. What you use the energy for is your own issue. But the job of the element of the fire is to transform, and it does just that. What about the element of the water? Is to cleanse and restore. And it is also doing just that. We use it to clean wash our clothes, to keep it clean our bowls, our tables, and whatnot. So it is also doing its job. When you drink it, it quenches your thirst. And also, similarly, it also doesn't care who you are or what you are going to do with the restorative energy and cleansing energy that it is giving you. What about the element of the earth? It's the stabilizing energy of God. We are all stable here on the earth. Humanity finds stability on earth. Animals find stability on earth. The plants also find stability on earth. So as you can see, the elements are alive and awake into knowledge of themselves. They know each of them knows what it is, and it is freely expressing this. So must we also know what we are. What is your purpose? What are you here on earth to do? Okay? The elements know it, and they are freely doing it. You also need to seek and find who and what you are, and allow this to also bless life. Let's also look at the relationship between the sun and the moon and take examples of the expressions of the virtues of God from this. When I look at the sun and the moon, I see understanding and respect. There is understanding and respect between the sun and the moon, because the sun has a particular time it comes out to shine. It comes to do its job and it leaves. Then the moon also takes over from there. So there's understanding. The moon is not fighting the sun, neither is the sun fighting the moon. There is understanding between them, and knowing that, okay, at this point, my brother is doing his work. Once my brother is done, I allow him to leave and I also come and do my work. So there's beautiful understanding between them. But man lacks understanding between us. You are in an office space. Your friend has gained promotion. You don't understand why you work in the same office with him. You do the same job and he has gained a promotion. It should be you. So jealousy, hatred, envy. That is what lack of understanding can lead to: jealousy, hatred, envy. And you might go and even do something that could even get you sacked from the company. Instead of you understanding that your friend has worked hard to earn his position. So you also need to put in the effort to also rise in the company. Because of this lack of understanding, you take certain steps that draw you back. I also see focus and duty when I look at the relationship between the sun and the moon. The sun is focused on what it is doing. So is the moon also focused on what it is doing. And like I said, there is no competition between them. None of them is saying, look, I shine too bright. The sun is not saying I shine too bright. Now I want to dim my light and shine like the moon. Neither is the moon also saying I'm shining too dim. I want to shine as bright as the sun. No, they are all focused on what they are doing. And there is no distraction between them. I also see duty. The sun knows its duty. Its duty is that when it touches your skin, it produces vitamins. When it touches the plants, it joins to form photosynthesis that produce food for the plants. So they are dutiful, they know their duty, and they are performing it excellently without any distractions. We need to also learn and emulate this. What are you focused on? What is your duty here in life? You need to identify this and work towards it, and not focus on what others are doing. This will lead to distraction. This will lead to confusion. This would lead to disappointment, because this is not where your focus is supposed to be. I also see determination and discipline. The sun doesn't give excuse and say, I'm tired of shining. It is continuously shining. So there is discipline. It knows that it is supposed to rise and set at a particular time, and it is disciplined with its job. So must you also be disciplined with whatever it is that you are doing. Is it work that you are doing? Do you get up and knowing that you are supposed to report to work at 8, you report to work at 10, spend 1 hour doing what's going to eat and doing whatever it is. By the time you sit down to do anything, it is 12. Now you have to get up and go and have your lunch. By the time you sit down to do any meaningful work, the day has ended. You have to be disciplined with your time. You are invited for a meeting or a program. The time is 10 a.m. You get there 10:30. You have to be disciplined with what you are doing. You have to be disciplined with what you are doing. Is it prayers that you are supposed to pray? You've come for consultation at Ethereum Mission. You've been told that at 11 p.m. every evening, you have to wake up and pray for this issue that you've brought forward. And then you oversleep and you are not disciplined about it, and you are still complaining that you have issues, and when you came, we were not able to help you. Were you disciplined enough to do what you were asked to do? You had body pains. You were asked to come for yoga exercises. You come once and you don't come again. Where is the discipline? Where is the discipline? We also need to find discipline in ourselves and freely express this. These are the virtues that the sun and the moon are freely expressing. We also need to find our virtues and express it. I also see patience. The moon patiently waits for the sun to finish its shine. And once the sun leaves, the moon begins its work. And the sun is also patient enough to wait for the moon to shine for as long as it has to shine. And then the sun also comes out to do its job. But what are we doing? We are so impatient in life. Kojo has a car, so you also want a car. So you tend to do all manner of things that puts you in destructive energy, and you end up destroying your life. And you see a lot of these cases now. A lot of youth now today are pushing to get married early, and then in 1 week, 2 months, 1 year, you hear that they are divorcing. We need to have patience to understand that everything works with time. Because you might be the bamboo tree, which takes 3 years to mature. I might also be the banana tree, which takes 9 months to mature. So because I have matured in 9 months, doesn't mean that you should also mature in 9 months. Because you are a bamboo tree, and the bamboo takes 3 months, 3 years to mature. So you also need to wait and keep working your turn and know that in time, your shine would also come. And don't rush for your shine. In Ghana here, you hear these days the boys are so many fraud and scam issues going on these days, and doing all sorts of murderous things to make money, armed robbery, and all these things, because we want to prove that we have. We need to be patient and wait our turn. You are in an office space. Your colleague has been promoted. You need to be patient enough to also wait your turn. Your colleague has been given a car, so you also want a car. So you start misbehaving in the office, giving out attitude. Because of that, you are not being effective at work. Obviously, that attitude that you are giving will delay whatever good that is supposed to come to you, because such things come to you because of the efforts that you put in the work that you are doing. So we need to learn patience, just as the sun and the moon are expressing. There's also a harmonious relationship, coexistence between the sun and the moon. They understand each other, so there is harmony between them, and there is no confusion. And we also need to learn to live in harmony. Christians are fighting Muslims. Muslims are fighting Christians. Hindus don't believe in such and such. Christians don't believe in Hindus. And we are all looking for one thing, which is to find a relationship with the divine. How you choose to call your divine, or the processes that you go through to worship your divine, it's no different from mine. It's just the practice that are different, but the end goal is all the same. So why are we not in harmony with each other? Blacks against whites, white against blacks. Look at what is happening in America right now. This is not how we are meant to live. The elements are even doing it and demonstrating it better than us. And we are supposed to be humans. We are supposed to be higher versions of the elements. So why are we displaying such animalistic characters? Even the animals even show coexistence. They work together, they move together. If you see animals hunting, they work together to hunt for their food. And after they get the food, they share the food amongst themselves. But what is happening with humanity? We are fighting here and there. Even families are fighting each other over properties, over unnecessary things. This is not how God intended it to be. I also see support for life. The elements are supporting life. So we also need to be selfless to support life. And finally, knowledge of self. The elements also express, because the sun knows what it is. So you also need to arise and know what you are. And you see, there's consistency in what they are doing. The sun is doing it consistently, so is the moon. So we also need to be consistent in everything that we are doing. If you are of a good nature, you need to be consistent in giving that good nature. It's not that today you are good, tomorrow you are bad, then today you are good, and tomorrow you are showing a negative. You have to be consistent in whatever virtue that you are showing. You want to lose weight. You are enthused about it. You go to the gym for a week and then you lose enthusiasm. It's the consistency that will get you the needed results. Today, a colleague of mine was telling me a story about a woman she knows. Now, this woman had just come back from working in Germany to settle here in Ghana with her husband and her kids, her 2 sons. She needed a driver, so she hired this gentleman. This gentleman, as described by the woman, was impeccable. He was such a good soul that he could be trusted with everything, to the extent that when the woman was traveling with her husband outside the country, she left her kids in the care of this gentleman. This guy was impeccable. If it is from feeding the kids, sending them to school, taking care of the home, handling everything that the woman needed him to handle, and even doing it better than she expected. To the point where when the kids were going for summer holidays, her husband was like, this guy should go with them. So he traveled with them on 2, 3, 4 occasions. And one day, in a conversation with the woman, having a conversation with a friend, her friend was telling her that she has her papers in the US. She wants to help somebody also to come to the US. Quickly, the woman remembered the driver and introduced the driver to the woman. So on their next holiday trip, the guy went with them, and he had to stay further because he needed to work on the processes. Just when the woman came to Ghana, in a few weeks, her friend in the US called and was like, wow, where did you find this guy? This guy is just impeccable. He's trustworthy, he's selfless, he's honest. I mean, think of all the virtues. This guy has it, and he gives it consistently. So this woman also opened her heart to help this guy. They realized that he was good with his hands, so they got him to learn how to do graphic designing. Now this guy is doing excellently well in the US. He's bought a big house in the US, built a house here in Ghana, started a family in the US, and he's doing so well. He was consistent in his virtues. First, he knew what his virtues were. He knew that he was kind-hearted. He knew he was selfless. He knew he was honest. He knew he was trustworthy. And he exhibited these virtues consistently. And as the Bible said, men will see your good deeds. So his good deeds were realized by the woman, who also glorified the good that she was seeing and also supported to push him further. It's a perfect example of what I'm talking about today. You need to recognize who and what you are. You need to recognize the virtues of God in you and allow it to freely express, for men to see your good works and glorify the Father. Because it is the Father's virtues that are expressing in you. So once they see these virtues, they are awakened to the glorious nature of God, and they also become grateful in their own being, in seeing this goodness of God expressed in you. So this is a perfect example of what I am trying to teach you about. Letting your soul shine. So like I said, letting your soul shine first means knowing who and what you are. Who are you? What is your purpose? What is your goal in life? What are you here to fulfill? And allow the virtues that are in you to shine, because God is spirit. And the Bible says the Spirit of God is kindness, obedience, love, patience, understanding. So these are the virtues that you need to cultivate in you. You need to find which of them you are dominant in, and allow it to freely express. Moving on, like I said before, God is the sun. We are the rays. So another way to explain this is to find which ray that you are, because the rays come in different colors. So find which ray that you are. Which color of God are you? Because we can both be kind, but the way I express my kindness can be different from the way you express your kindness. So be alive in the way you express your kindness. You need to know this and then focus on it. Don't focus on how Kweku is expressing his kindness or how John or Grace is expressing their kindness. Know how you express your kindness and allow this to freely show. So how do you do this? In Ethereum Mission, we have a book called ELED, or Essential Life Education, simplified as ELED. This book talks about GPS. GPS means gender, persona, and your senses. Who are you in your gender? You need to know that as male, there are certain traits that comes with the male character. There are certain traits that come with the female character. Once you are awakened to this, you don't blame yourself too much for certain things that you do. Neither do you misunderstand certain things that females do or you see another man doing, because this is how God made it. If you ask a woman, how was your day? She will tell you about when she got up from bed and how she took her bath and the food she ate, and when she was in the car on her way to work, she met Gloria and Kwesi called her and she got to the office and all that. She will tell you about her whole day. Meanwhile, you were just asking her how work was. Because women are round, they like to go round with things. When you understand this and a woman is nagging, you don't get frustrated, because that is how women are. Men are straightforward. You ask him how was work. Oh, work was good. Everything went fine. But a woman will go round and tell you stories. So this is an example of gender. There's also senses. We operate through our senses, our sight, smell, taste, touch, hearing. Because we are spirit beings and the spirit expresses through these senses. And you need to know which sense you are dominant in. And you need to understand that every experience that you have is experienced with these senses, because you saw something, you smelled something, you heard something, you felt something. And these are captured in your consciousness. And so that is what carries you around life. And you need to know everyone is dominant in one or two of these senses. You need to know which of them you are dominant in. And that would also help you in your life. You see 5 people go to the beach and you ask them their experience. One will tell you what they saw because he's a sight person. Oh, I saw this and this. In the sea, I saw the people and I saw the sun and this, and it was beautiful. One will also tell you about the waves and how the noise the waves was producing and the silence in the beach and the music that was playing here and there, because he's a hearing person. Another will tell you how I love the breeze and how soft it touched my skin and how it felt so cool, because he's a touch person. So you also need to know which sense you are dominant in, and this also informs your life, because when you are living with people, and if you want to live harmoniously with people, you need to understand this and know that a man who likes football, you don't go to him when he's busy watching his football to ask him for money to go and buy groceries or for things that he doesn't seem very necessary at that moment. When you understand how we operate in our senses, it makes it easy for you to deal with other people. So your relationships become more harmonious because now you understand. So there's more understanding. So we can live together in peace and in harmony. And also the persona. You also need to know who and what you are in your persona. Now, persona is fully thought in one of Ethereum Mission's master programs, also called spiritual persona. Now, we know that God is the creative love intelligence of this world, because we see the bonding energy of God in all things. Gravity shows the bonding energy of God. The planets are orbiting the sky, all have their sun, and they are all orbiting the sky. There's a bonding energy that's keeping them together, so they are not floating freely in space. And this is the love energy of God. We also see intelligence in how this is happening, because the planets are all suspended in space. There has to be some form of intelligent power that is making this happen. You also see creativity in how things are being expressed in nature. So this tells us that God is the creative love intelligence experience that we experience in life. And if we are created from God, then we are also creative love intelligence. And so you need to find which shade of creative love intelligence that you are. And that is what spiritual persona helps you to do. With love, there are shades such as assistant, giver, kind, helpful, caring. With intelligence, there are shades as counselor, inspirer, teacher, open-minded, organizer. And with creativity, there are also shades as motivator, mentor, influential, adaptable, and empowering. Now, what you do is you pick the virtues or the shades that resonate well with you, and in a sitting, write 50 evidences of these shades. So, for instance, I am an assistant spirit of God, as in when I assisted Kojo when he needed help in repairing his car. I am a kind spirit of God, as in when I was kind to John when he needed some money to add up to what he had to purchase a car or whatever. So this is how you go about it. I am this, as in when I did this, as in. So the evidences of creative love intelligence, the shades that you've chosen, list them and list at least 50 evidences each. And from this, you can find a similar traits, and this would also lead you to find your purpose. There's a master program here in Ethereum Mission where our leader and founder, Brother Ishmael Tete, takes you personally through this and helps you to discover your purpose. So it is a way for also finding your spiritual virtues, because I told you that letting your soul shine means that first you need to have knowledge of self, and ELED would help you to discover that. And then you need to express the virtues of God that you are. Spiritual persona helps you to express these virtues. We can also draw inspiration from love activation, which is what inspired this whole teaching. Love activation is a meditative program that allows you to discover or reawaken the love within you and within all of nature. You do this by bringing to mind when you loved. It could be a person, it could be a family member, it could be a lover, a friend, it could be even an object that you loved. It is not the person or the object you are focusing on. You are focusing on the love that you felt. And you make this statement, I permit me to feel this love. I permit me to feel this love. You make this statement several times, so you are drowned in the love. Then you begin to pick elements of nature also around and discover the love also in them. So for instance, and you make these statements whilst you do this, I feel me loving in God's loving field of love. So I feel me loving in God's loving field of the cosmos. And you experience the love in the cosmos that allows them to orbit the sky without running into each other. And celebrate this love, because it is the same love that you are also feeling in you. There's no difference. It is expressing in different ways, but it's this same love. So the elements are also experiencing the same love that you are also experiencing. And you can pick other things, elements of the air, fire, water, earth, even your own body, the elements in the organs in your body, your heart. Feel the love of the heart that is constantly beating and keeping you alive. So that is about love activation. It inspires you to give off the love that you are, because when you are in love, you don't hate, you don't do destructive things. You express freely, and love is meant to be expressed. Once you feel this love, you freely express it with all of life. So give yourself the opportunity to merge and be soaked in the love and freely express it. When all this is done, when you are waking to your soul light and you are allowing it to shine, you would have knowledge of self. You know what you are and why you are here on earth. It will give you focus, it will give you purpose. And when you understand that the spiritual image and likeness of God is also in you and you need to allow it to express, you will find discipline in what you are doing. You will find consistency in what you are doing. You would also find express virtues such as patience with other people. You would also live stress-free because now you understand what you are, and so you don't stress too much in life. You'll be purposeful in everything that you do because now you have a goal, you have a purpose, you have a reason for living. You even feel more fulfilled in life, and you'll be more happy and more joyful in life. These are some of the things that you would experience once you are waking to your soul light and you are allowing it to freely shine. So I leave you with a quote by our own leader and founder, Brother Ishmael Tete, which says, "The sun doesn't pray for light, it prays to expand its light." Let's not pray for the things that we want, because they are already embedded in us. We only need to be awakened to them and allow its free expression to bless all of life. With this, I say thank you and God bless you. Over to you, Papa Smiley.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I've sat here listening to you attentively because I also want my soul to shine. And you've done very well bisecting, whichever way you want to put it. You've done very, very well in letting us know what exactly you mean by letting your soul shine. We have just about 6 minutes to the top of the hour. That is to say, I can possibly ask you only one question, and then we will round up right after that. You made reference to what is happening in America, right?
Yes.
It is quite interesting, and we have seen how people are, I would say, reacting to events in a moment or in a situation where they find themselves in. A lot of people are boiling with anger. A lot of people are in so much pain. In such a situation, how can one make their soul shine in the midst of this anger that is boiling up in many people? How can one make their soul shine in this moment?
Okay, so I said letting your soul shine means first you have knowledge of self and you are awakened to the spiritual virtues of God in you. If you have knowledge of yourself and you know what purpose you are here for, and you are awakened to the spiritual image and likeness of God in you, then you will freely express this in situations like this. Expressions of anger, hatred, and jealousy is what our brothers in the US are expressing in situations like this. Yes, I know it's a painful thing to watch when you have been oppressed for so long and people are being killed all over, even some of them for no apparent reason. I know how bad it feels. You know, I can only imagine how they are feeling. But then this is not a time for you to be expressing such negative emotions. If you are alive in yourself and know what you are, you find purposeful ways of doing such, because God is purposeful. We've had leaders that has led the way and taught us how we can fight for what we want without distraction. All the chaos and distraction that is being caused by our brothers and sisters in the US is only buttressing what is being taught of the black person and how we express ourselves. But this is not the image of and likeness of God in us. So we need to be alive in this. Nelson Mandela was imprisoned and jailed by the same people who he came out to work with. He was imprisoned and jailed, but when he came out, he said, no, I'm not letting the white people go. We can work with them. They have something good. We would work together with them. Even his bodyguards, the people who were supposed to protect him, there were white men in there. This is the virtues that we are supposed to express in times like this. Nelson Mandela didn't come out and say, yes, we've been oppressed for long, so let's bomb them, let's kill them. No. He came out and expressed the virtues of God in him. So did Martin Luther King. He also expressed the good virtues of God, going around protesting peacefully. So did Mahatma Gandhi. So we've had leaders that have expressed and showed us the way in which we can fight for what we want without violence and destruction. We need to emulate such leaders and not let their works be in vain.
Wow, interesting. Someone may say, you Ethereum mission, I think you guys are not realist. Okay, you are not living in a realistic world. How can you be telling people to be showing love in moments like this? Someone stood on another and got him killed. It is not just the first time, it's been happening several times. We've been showing love and love and love. We've been so quiet, we've been so calm, but situations are still the same, and you are telling us we should carry on showing this love in moments like this. Are you being real? We have to fight and show them we are also there. What exactly will you tell such a person who will tell you, no, Ethereum mission, you are not living in a realistic world? What would you tell such a person?
Well, man has been fighting for so many years. Where has the fighting taken us? Christians are fighting Muslims. Muslims are fighting Christians. This nation is fighting this nation. That nation is fighting this nation. Where has all that taken us? So obviously it shows that violence doesn't bring the solution that we are looking for. So why don't we look to love? Because love, we can see clearly, has taken us places. Mahatma Gandhi expressed love and showed how we can fight for what we want without non-violence. Martin Luther King was doing the same. When Malcolm X was saying, by any means necessary, Martin Luther King was expressing what he needed, was fighting for what he needed to do without violence. So why can't we also do the same? We have leaders that have done this for us and shown us the way to go. None of these leaders picked up knives and stones to fight to get what they want. No, it never happened as such. Even our own Kwame Nkrumah here in Ghana also got freedom, and all over Africa. We got freedom without necessarily fighting for it. In Ghana here, we didn't fight. We went through a peaceful election, and then everything was peacefully handed over to us. So it's been shown in past, and it is still being shown. There are others who are also doing it peacefully. So if we've been fighting for all these years, it only means that we are filled with hatred, jealousy, and anger. Don't let somebody's stupidity allow you to also act stupid. Awaken to the God virtues and God natures in you. Allow that to express, and it will bring you what you want.
Thank you very much. Allow the God virtues in you to shine forth, and it will bring you what you want. We have Mame Amma Ofori. Be in harmony. I'm listening or watching you on Facebook. Be in harmony with one another. She comes again. Allow the virtues of God in you to shine. Thank you very much. We have Dorcas, a top fan, also watching on Facebook. We have I think that is Madam Authentic. Patricia Ama Jemfi, Madam Authentic, also watching on Facebook. Nana comments is also equally watching. Priscilla Becky Kujo, Amela Wosi Kekele Obimpe, gorgeous Amela Wosi also watching on Facebook, and to all the very ones watching on Facebook, kudos and keep sharing as well. Well, Emmanuel.
Yes, Papa
in your
Smiley.
submission, I heard you comparing the fact that the sun and the moon, they work hand in hand, and what have you, right?
Yes.
The last question. You know, the sun and the moon, these elements, they don't have feeling, right? They don't feel any hurt. So why compare us to these elements when it comes to how we respond to things and how we address issues as human beings?
Well, they might not feel hurt, but that is not what we are focusing on. What we are focusing on is the good that they are expressing and how it is benefiting all of life. If you feel hurt and you allow that hurt to take control of you and you become destructive, how is that bringing good to humanity and to yourself? You are causing destruction to yourself, to humanity, and even generations to come. But if you allow the goodness in you to come forth and to shine, then you are blessing humanity positively, and you yourself, you are fulfilled. So all I'm saying is that, yes, we feel hurt, but let's not allow the hurt to take over us, for us to act in ways that cause distraction. Let's allow this hurt to awaken the God virtues in us, to shine, so that we can bless humanity with this, so that we can also feel fulfilled. Because we are here, the earth is for us to live on, and to create it the conducive environment for us to live in, and for generations also to come to live in. If we come and fill the earth with hatred, jealousy, and anger, we ourselves will not be comfortable living here, and we will be creating the same kind of environment for generations to come and live in. I wouldn't want my kids to come and live in a world filled with hatred, jealousy, and anger. I would want them to come and live in a world filled with love, forgiveness, understanding, harmonious living, peaceful coexistence. So those are the virtues that I am giving out freely unto life, so that they can also come and experience it.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel, for such responses. Very, very insightful. Your final words for us, and then you can draw the curtain. And if you have any other information to the viewers, the listeners, as to how service is going to be tomorrow, and that is Crystal service, right?
Yes.
And on Sunday, you can equally pass it on via this means as well. So over to you with your final words, and then we can round up nicely.
Okay, so my final word, as I have said, seek knowledge of self. Every prophet that has come has told us, man, know thyself. So seek knowledge of self, understand the virtues of God in you, and allow them to express freely. That's all I'm giving you today. And Ethereum Mission is such a place where you can come and get such understanding. We will take you through various programs to help you to rediscover who you are and teach you ways, practical ways of expressing your God nature and God virtues. Ethereum Mission is the Center for Spiritual Empowerment, and our vision is that of a unified world in which everyone is a catalyst that is activating and promoting the innate good in one another. We call on you to join us to create such a world where the goodness in me invites the expression of the goodness in you, and so does the goodness in you also invite the expression of the goodness in me. And this is the world that we seek to create. You can join us and worship with us in Accra at the General Anchor Highway at Sakama, next to the Gulf World Station, and our phone numbers are 0264 177 633, 0548 177 633. Also in Takoradi, you can join us at the Dave Street in the Anaji Estates, and the telephone number is 0561 166 330. In Kumasi, you can also join and fellowship with us at the Deba Court Hotel behind Dr. Badu in Adembra, and the contact number there is 0561 166 331. In the UK, you can equally fellowship with us at our branch at the 58 Corange Park Avenue in Mitcham, Surrey, and the postcode there is CR42DG, and the phone number is 0208 646 6129. Information reaching us is that the President's directive is supposed to start from the 5th, and so information would go out as to how Crystal service will be handled tomorrow. We will send information to our listeners later on. We are still talking and debating on it, but for Sunday we'll be having 2 services. Each would have 100 people as the President's directive gave, so we'll then treat you to come early if you want to join the first service or the second service. We'll then treat you to come early for any of these services so that we can be seated comfortably, and we'll be observing the 1 meter spacing, which means we are not going to be sitting as we normally sit. We would observe spacing, and then there are washrooms. Liquid soaps have been provided for us to wash our hands. There are hand sanitizers at the entrances that will help us to keep safe, and there are other measures that are also taking place. So we invite you to come and reawaken the love in your heart with us on Sunday. So I pray I see all of you on Sunday. I'd like to give the last word to my brother Daniel Podo, who was involved in an accident some few weeks ago. We pray that the energy of healing continues to be with you, and you be fully alive in health so that you can come and join us to continue the good works we are doing here in Ethereum Mission. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, and God bless you too, Emmanuel Dadson. Do you owe us one more presentation come Thursday, or that will be it for now?
That will be it for now.
That will be it for now, right?
Next Thursday, you would have another seasoned teacher to come and teach you.
All right then. Thank you very much, and then you enjoy your evening and keep up the good works. Okay.
Thank you, and same to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Father, Mother God, lift my vision beyond duality and seeming opposites to that sacred vision of your one and indivisible self. Oh God, grant me the blessed vision that sees only your divine presence in and through all of life. You are the only power without opposite. There is nothing else besides you. You encompass the earth, the solar and other starry systems and galaxies. You alone are God. To you I surrender always, and from you I draw my power. So now, my spirit rises with the spirit of life, and the sound of my voice echoes in the hearts of all men.
smile.